It can cost around $3 a meal for a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, corn tortilla, and one other thing. And so there is a way to do this that actually will save the average American consumer money.
Where to begin? It's a paltry plan for getting full or nutrition. Many people are speaking up on this one, including making their own videos. Consider this a kind of a citizen ad to push back. We're seeing the pushback online.
I'm genuinely curious about what she means by that one other thing, because this right here is the equivalent of one snack wrap. So I hope that one other thing is a second meal.
Maybe you're a person that needs a visual. Here you go. Doesn't that look like a great meal?
Brooke, what are you talking about? This is like the ideal Trump meal in their mind. And the Trump admin is basically doing this. Can we offer you a piece of broccoli in this trying time?
People ask, what's the point of interviewing folks or talking to folks or gathering information? And sometimes people tell on themselves. This out-of-touch, rich, right-wing MAGA elitist actually has the audacity to condescend to the public and tell them that's their eating plan. Trump ran on lowering prices. Now he wants people to just cut back on those little $3 appetizers or get very distracted by a ton of other things. But when staple products are up this much, it's very hard to distract people from either their shrinking banking accounts to buy the stuff.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us His truth according to the Bible and Rubel. And now Shalom, all sincere argument about the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth to diligence and sincerity and in charity. And now Shalom, excuse me, to all you sincere followers, believers of Yahweh Bahashem Shai, not just hearers of the word, but doers as well, you men, women, and children, and hopeful elect. Shalom. It's your brother Kabad back with another Lord willing edifying lesson. As you can see, people think this is a joke. But a meal like this in these times that we're coming in are going to be gold. They're going to be priceless. And, the American people are so, they're so, the phrase that people like to say, spoiled. They're spoiled. Which means that, spoil really means to rob and take. But it's a saying amongst Americans, though, that person spoiled means they got their heart's desire. And when it comes to the food, all right, Americans waste more food than anybody. You go past these restaurants, things of that nature, all right, you see the food. One dude got fired from his hotel job from taking the food that it was throwing away home. I saw something on that. But the Lord's gonna bring a famine, man. And you might as well get used to eating less and less, man. And what Trump is saying is not a game. All right. So let's grab some scriptures and wrap it on up. Let's go to 2 Ezra 15, because these are all signs prior to Yahweh Shai's arrival. No, not Galatians. 2 Ezra 15. I'm going to start at the top. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy." Who are the Lord's people? The Israelites. Point blank, period. And so what if some don't believe? We're not asking you to believe. Here at Great Millstone, started head apostles, elders, and down. We're not asking people to believe us. All right? Children of the Lord, the so-called blacks, Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, Native American Indians, and you Israelite foreigners, according to the seed line of your father, which goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, one of the tribes, man. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy," which means to say before, "which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord." and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. That's why we have the scriptures. Right? King James had it translated for us. Right? And we have exactly what we need to know pertaining to salvation. Everything else we're getting in the kingdom. And no, King James was not a homosexual. Alright? Reading on. It says, for they are faithful and true. So these words are faithful and true. That's why we come out of it, man. Isaiah 8:20. If we don't speak according to this word, there's no light in us. Verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Well, people think about us. Let not the incredulity, the non-belief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Here's why. Verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. This is coming out of the Bible. This is coming out of the Bible. It says, so for the ones of our people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, that are not faithful to Yahweh Basham Al-Shai, right? They think he's a joke, think it's a game. All right, they're going to perish. They're going to die according to the scriptures. And then these times is going to be, you know, in a harsh way. It's going to be in a harsh way, man. Verse 5, it says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. So these things that the Lord's getting ready to list off, he's bringing. All right? The sword, which is mainly the GUN, right? And everyone has a sword just about in America. I think they said 2 out of 3 homes have GUNs. It says famine, right? And this is what I wanted. Famine. This is prophecy. The Lord said he's going to bring a famine, a lack of food, right? Water. The Lord's getting ready to take it away. And you got to remember, these are the principal things that one needs to survive. And the Lord's getting ready to make a shortage of it. Well, you know, less accessible in a sense. It's not going to be as much to go around. You know, and look, just the importance of not eating this much, man, because we're coming in those times, man. Look, speaking to myself first and foremost, I'm doing this lesson. All right. So, it says, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So that's what the Lord is bringing, man. And he's using the hammer of the earth, the Esau, Edom, so-called white man, to do it. And this is not the first time. There's been plenty of famines that happen in history. Think about the Great Depression. Okay? Where the money was worthless pretty much. You know, a lot of creative meals came during that time. But it's still not going to be as worse as it is the times we're living in now. All right? And go to one of my favorites. This is 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head, a donkey, was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and a 4/part of a calf's dung for 5 pieces of silver. All right? Just look up to see how much silver is now. All right. It says, and as the king of Israel was passing upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord doeth not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? Right, if the Lord's not helping, what you think I can do? You want me to pull a rabbit out of my ass? Verse 28, and the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said to me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today. Now, you know that famine had to be very severe for you to want to eat your own child, right? Reading on, it says, And we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son that we may eat him. And she had hid her son. You see? And that's the point I wanted from that. Bring out two more, wrap it on up. Where was I going? Matthew 24. And it also says, and it hit this one too. What should be the sign of thy coming? Right? Now I'm jump down verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines. Right? And pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are beginning of sorrows. Once again, we're living them times, man. The signs are here. So jumping down, I'm gonna read 12 and 21. It says, And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right? Psycho. And these people are gonna lose it. Just like they did in like we read in 2 Kings 6 chapter. Eating each other's children, man. Right? It says, But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And that's the elect. Verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Right. So the time we live in is going to be a time like it's never been on the earth, man. But the hopeful elect's going to be taken care of, man. Let's get that. It's Isaiah 65, verse 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. The ones of our people who didn't turn back to the Heavenly Father, they're not even going to have this. They're not even going to have that little bitty, where that? They're not even going to have this, man. $3 meal, a piece of chicken, a broccoli, and a corn tortilla. Look, this is going to be gold in these times, man. We're coming into. It's gold now for a lot of people. All right. But the hopeful elect, the elect is going to be taken care of, man. But the ones that despise this truth, right? That despise the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they're going to howl. Right? As the verse 14 says, Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. You see? And King David also told us in Psalms, he's been now old and young, has never seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread. Shalom.